What is up? Good morning, peeps. Coach Kev from the porch. Very chilly Pennsylvania like weather. We're only seeing highs in the, I think, mid to upper 50s today. So hard on the bones and the joints and the discs. Saturday night, I've had my back's been bothering me for a while. I've had issues, but nothing major. Go to chiropractor. Saturday night, I was in my fridge getting a bottle of water and I sneezed and it felt like an explosion went off on the right side, mid back, like an explosion. Dropped me to my knees. Was able to crawl upstairs into my bed. Brooke took care of me. Finally took me to the ER. Finally agreed to go Sunday afternoon, and it's just a severe strain. And they said this happened sometimes the way I was bent. Back issues in the past. I couldn't believe it. It felt like a shotgun blast went off. But I'm okay. I'm on the mend. Taking care of business with some anti-inflammatory stuff, and as always using my medical marijuana for pain relief and anti-inflammatory also. Some good CBD stuff I have too, that's really good with that. But anyways, we'll leave that there. I'm all good. And like I said, the worst thing in the world, I've said this before, the worst thing in the world anyone could do is feel sorry for me. So don't, because there's a lot of people who got a lot worse than me. And a couple of days of pain. I'm off work today, but I'll be back Saturday. I fully intend, despite this gloomy weather that we get. Sun probably won't come out again until goddamn March, but hey, we got the Steelers, right? So it's worth living here. Anyways, Delphi, big news is the jury selection started yesterday. They just got about done. They have a couple alternates to pick from. They listed men, women, blah, blah, blah. There's some general things you could draw from that, but you really have to know more specifics, and we should know specifics about jurors. So let's leave that go. Let's hope that they got people of sound mind. I understand 60 to 70% of the people raised their hands whenever they said who's heard of this case or who has knowledge of this case. I think that's about right. Actually, I think it was low, especially drawing people from Indiana. Usually you've heard of it before, or you knew something about it. Maybe you did a couple web searches about it or something like that. But I was actually surprised that number was that low from what they guesstimated. Opening arguments look like they're going to start Friday. That should be very interesting. They'll lay out the case for the most part. I think you'll see all the cards, most of the cards should be shown there, and they will say, we're going to prove this, we have this, and that. The defense will say, we're going to disprove this, and that, is what I think is going to happen. And it could be quite lengthy. It really could be quite lengthy. I'm assuming that Baldwin's going to do the pitch, the opening for the defense. He's a little more animated, theatrical. He was standing behind Richard Allen, put his hands on his shoulders in a clearly staged move. And Richard Allen was told to smile at that time, so he smiled. I don't know if Baldwin did that for some levity. He might have done it for levity, but he was gauging the jury. The reporter said most of the jury just stared back, like, what the fuck is going on here? But I think that's all Baldwin was doing. Maybe he could have done it a different way, but I think he was gauging people and trying to read people, kind of profile the jury. You look at what they wear, you know a little bit about them. You've read their surveys that they sent back to the court. So you've already started doing that. That's a form of profiling, and they've already started doing that. A lot of times attorneys are really good profilers. If you remember the movie The Devil's Advocate, and of course it wasn't a true story, Keanu Reeves' character, Kevin Lomax, was an attorney, and his big thing was he could pick the jury. He could read people. And if you're an attorney, that's a tremendous trait. I don't know how Nick would stand on that. I think he would probably lean on his other people, especially the older gentlemen, maybe been around a little bit more on picking people, but that's going fast, and it seems like there's going to be an off day Wednesday. They've got all this accomplished so quickly, so that's good. Thursday, juries get their charge or their instruction or sworn in or whatever the case may be. Friday, we're off for trial, and then Saturday, because it's going to be running 6 days a week from what I understand. Talking to some people in comments today, people talking about questions about video and stuff like that, and I enjoy all those back and forth with people as long as they keep them cool. And it's really been really cool with a lot of people. We've gone back and forth over topics. Some of the people aren't, they don't listen to me, they don't shy away from a fight. Let's just say that. But in the comments that they've been with me, we've obviously disagreed, but it's been good back and forth. The video, people asked about the video, and there was another question which someone asked me, and I'll get back to that. The video is, to me, scientifically proven that it's from the bridge. The ISP officer, I'll get that transcript. I have it, and I'll share where he talks about it. The defense doesn't object to it. That's where it was taken. It's able to be GPS metadata stamped. Everything's there. I might be using the wrong terminology because I'm not a phone guy or a forensic guy like that. But I think that it's going to come out, and that's just a given. Are they going to try to say that wasn't Allen on a bridge, or I don't know. And again, I can't look and see and say, hey, that was so-and-so. To me, I could roll out Ron Logan because I could tell that guy on a bridge isn't 6'3". He's, in my opinion, 5'2" to 5'6", somewhere in that vicinity, based on other people's work that they've done with measuring the railroad ties and things like that. And I will be shocked if the police don't have a similar thing where they can say, hey, look, we measured from here to here and we figured out this was his exact height, shin length, blah, blah, blah. There's a lot of things that you can look at there. You can even guesstimate the size shoes that he has. Now, if they have an expert that comes in and says, hey, your photo expert's bullshit, then whoever propels the better testimony would get the option on that, I think. The Odinist thing, or what are they trying to bring back in? I mean, even Chadwell, in my opinion, holy Hail Mary time. If you watch Monday Night Football last night, they're doing the old Aaron Rodgers play at halftime where they throw it up and someone catches it. I don't know. Again, they're not saying we know who did this now. They're saying it wasn't our guy, but it could have been any of these 10 people. I think that it'd done better to stick to one theory, even if it was Odinism. Wouldn't have called in King of Klein. Wouldn't have mentioned Jerry, Tony Klein. Wouldn't have mentioned, all these other people. I would have kept it at the Odinists. Even though none of the Odinists were there, and no one saw any of them there, at least it's one story, and you keep running one story straight. I don't know why they didn't say Ron Logan did it with an accomplice on the bridge, because on that phone data, he's going to come back in the area of the crime. Now, granted, he lived there, right? But I just wonder if there was a eureka moment somewhere with law enforcement where they said, this can't be Ron Logan. We might hear that, we might not hear that, because as is the normal course in trial, you don't talk a lot about investigations that, my son just texted me, bought a house. When do you guys turn your heat on? Now that you're paying the bill, maybe December, but when you lived here, it was the end of September if we had a cold night. Enjoy that. Anyways, get back to where I was talking. That's just a funny text. So I don't know. I might have went with Logan, but I'm not exactly sure. But we don't know all that they know, the defense and the prosecution. Remember, people that said there's no strong evidence. There's a mountain of circumstantial evidence. I don't think that's debatable. There's a mountain, but you got to do a little better than circumstantial in this case, I think. Now, remember, anything that the defense got that makes Richard Allen look guilty, they're not going to put in a memo. They're not going to put that out there. And the defense or the prosecution is not allowed legally to leak things like that. The defense isn't either, but they could get around some things. The burden is higher to the prosecution as far as holding things back. And they want to do that anyway because they don't want their case to be tried in public. They want it to be tried in the court. And the prosecutor, the defense wants the case tried in public because everyone doesn't know everything that the prosecution knows. So we're at this point now, and I know it's last minute, but I would still be shocked if Friday, if they get up and make opening arguments and there isn't a plea deal or there isn't something that happened. And a lot of people might look at that comment and say, man, Coach Kev, that's pretty stupid to say. You're in the fourth quarter. You're at the 2-minute warning now. It'll just shock me to this day. It'll still really, really surprise me. But if we're there, we're there, and I'll roll with it. And that'll be something that I'll come back and tell you, hey, I had that wrong, like I do every time when I have something wrong. And if I have this case wrong, I'll come back and tell you. But let's see how it plays out. I thank all the people that go, all the coverage. My thoughts are with the families. I released a short this morning for the girls. And this has to be a very tough time for them, knowing that they're close to the finish line, they think, and they're going to have to sit through some details that they probably haven't heard before. And that's unfortunate, but that's how this has to play out. So I hope everyone has a great Tuesday. Don't cry for me, Argentina, because I'm back up and at it. I'm able to move around. I could turn my lamp on again. I could flush the toilet because I couldn't reach the handle for a couple of days. But I'm well on the mend. I hope everyone's doing good. And, if your favorite creators, if they're traveling, and you could send them a couple bucks. Guys, $5-10 makes a difference. They're out there on their own. They're reporting back to us, giving us daily updates, even though it's not on TV, which absolutely sucks. But I understand where the judge comes from on that. So help them out if you can. Follow your favorite creators. I didn't get to watch a lot last night. I was still kind of laying around and not doing anything. But I'm going to catch up on some things tonight. I'm sure your favorite creators that cover Delphi are going to have some Delphi episodes this coming week. In the next couple weeks, as trial happens, and it's kind of hard to believe that we're at trial. Like I said, I'll be shocked still Friday, and I could be wrong, and that's fine. But I just don't know. I don't know. But it's intriguing, right? Gets the mind going. Makes you do some work, some leg work on the back end. So, anyways, I'm going to leave you guys to it. Happy Tuesday. We're going to get out of here with my dog mug and say tentacles. And that is that. Coach Kev out.